You are not tired. I know that might be the hardest thing you have heard today, because tired is what you have been telling yourself for months, maybe years. You wake up in the morning and the first thought your brain produces before you even open your eyes is, I am already exhausted. You drag yourself through the day. You perform your responsibilities. You show up for everyone who needs you. You answer the calls. You solve the problem. You carry the weight. And by the time you fall into bed at night, you have nothing left, not for your goals, not for your joy, not even for yourself. And you look at that emptiness and you say, I must be tired. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you took a real break and came back feeling genuinely refreshed? When was the last time you rested and woke up actually feeling like yourself again? Because if rest is not restoring you, then rest is not your problem. You do not have a rest deficiency. You have a relationship alignment problem. You are not tired. You are drained. And the difference between those two things will change your entire life once you understand it. Tired comes from effort. Tired is what happens when your body has worked hard and needs to recover. Tired is natural. Tired is even beautiful in a certain way, because tired means you have been building something, creating something, pursuing something worth pursuing. Tired responds to rest. Give a tired body 8 hours of sleep and it rises renewed. Give a tired mind a day of silence and it comes back sharper. But drained is different. Drained is what happens when your spirit has been consistently pouring into a place that never fills up. Drained is what happens when your love, your energy, your wisdom, your prayers, your sacrifices have been going into people who consume everything and produce nothing. Drained is what happens when you have been trying so hard to water seeds that were never planted in good soil, investing so deeply in people who had no intention of growing. You can sleep for 12 hours and still wake up drained. You can take a week off and come back even more depleted than when you left. You can do everything that tired people are supposed to do: rest, eat well, exercise, breathe, and still feel like something fundamental inside of you has been hollowed out. That is because drained is not a physical problem. It is a spiritual, emotional, relational problem. And you cannot solve it by sleeping more. You solve it by changing where your energy is going. Now I need you to look at your life, not the version of your life that you perform for social media, not the version you describe when people ask how you are doing and you automatically say fine because you have been trained to smile through the bleeding. I need you to look at your actual life, the real, raw, unfiltered version. And I need you to think about the people who have consistent, unlimited access to your energy. Who do you show up for without question? Who do you drop everything for? Who do you bend your schedule, your budget, your boundaries, your beliefs, your standards to accommodate? Who in your life have you been pouring into consistently, sacrificially, exhaustedly, and yet somehow they are never quite filled? Somehow there is always another crisis, always another problem, always another reason they need more of you, always another situation where you are required to give everything you have and then apologize for not having more to give. Those people are not just taking your time and your energy, they are taking your future. Every hour you spend managing someone else's self-created chaos is an hour you are not spending building your dream. Every ounce of emotional labor you invest in stabilizing someone who refuses to do the internal work of stabilizing themselves is an ounce of creative energy that your purpose never received. Every prayer you prayed over a relationship that was draining the life out of you, every tear you cried trying to love someone back to wholeness, every sacrifice you made trying to save someone who was not even asking to be saved, all of that was fuel that your destiny was supposed to run on, and your destiny has been running on empty. I am not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I am telling you this because you deserve to understand the full weight of what misplaced investment costs, because the world will tell you that giving is always virtuous. The world will crown you for your sacrifice. People will call you loyal, call you a good friend, call you an amazing partner, call you selfless, and they will say it like it is the highest compliment they can offer, while you are quietly dying inside from giving what you do not have to people who do not deserve it. Loyalty is a virtue. Sacrifice is beautiful. But loyalty to a toxic situation is not loyalty. It is self-betrayal. Sacrifice for someone who has no intention of honoring your sacrifice is not noble. It is negligent toward yourself, negligent toward your gifts, negligent toward every person in this world who could have been transformed by the version of you that actually had something left to give. Now let me talk to those of you who know exactly what I am describing. You know who in your life is draining you. You have known for a long time. You can feel it every time their name appears on your phone screen. There is this heaviness that descends, not excitement, not warmth, not genuine gladness, but this weight that settles on your chest before you even answer the call. Your body already knows the truth. Your spirit has been sending you the signal for months, maybe years, but your mind keeps overriding the signal because your mind is full of history, full of obligation, full of love, full of hope, full of the version of that person that you believed in, even when they stopped believing in themselves. And that hope is not a weakness. Let me be absolutely clear about that. Your capacity to see greatness in people is one of the most powerful gifts you possess. But here is what nobody tells you about that gift. It can become a trap, Because when you have the ability to see potential in people, you can find yourself in a perpetual cycle of loving people for who they could be rather than dealing honestly with who they actually are. Potential is not a relationship. You cannot build your life on what someone might become. You cannot give your best years to a possibility that never materialized. You cannot keep pouring water into a cup that has a hole in the bottom and call it generosity. At some point, you have to acknowledge the hole. At some point, you have to put the cup down. But here is the deeper question. Why do good people keep pouring into the wrong ones? Because I am not here to give you simple answers. Simple answers are disrespectful to the complexity of what you have been through. The real answer runs deep. The real answer requires you to look at where you learned that your worth was measured by how much you gave. Look at where you first learned that love had to be earned through performance, through service, through sacrifice. Look at the earliest relationships in your life, the environments that shaped your understanding of what you were worth and what you had to do to deserve love. For many of you, the pattern of pouring into the wrong people did not start with the people in your life today. It started much earlier. It started in a home where your emotional needs were consistently overlooked, but your ability to manage other people's emotional needs was celebrated. It started in a family dynamic where the person who gave the most got the most approval. It started in relationships where love felt conditional, where you had to be useful, had to be available, had to be selfless in order to feel secure. And you carried that blueprint into your adult life. You carried it into every friendship, every romantic relationship, every professional environment. And you have been building according to that blueprint, even as it has been slowly destroying you. Because the blueprint you were given was drawn by wounded hands for a wounded world, and it was never designed to lead you to the life you were actually created to live. This is the moment where you redesign the blueprint. This is the moment where you make a decision that your life, your energy, your love, your time, your gifts, all of it belongs first to God, then to your purpose, then to the people who genuinely honor what you bring into their lives. This is the moment where you stop apologizing for having standards. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. Stop making yourself small to make other people comfortable in their smallness. Because here is what I know about you. You would not be drained if you did not have something extraordinary inside of you. You cannot drain a person who has nothing to give. The very fact that people keep coming to you, keep pulling from you, keep relying on you is evidence that you carry something powerful, something rare, something that the world desperately needs. But the world cannot benefit from what you carry if you have been handing it all to people who hoard it, waste it, or fail to appreciate it. You have to become more intentional about where your greatness goes. Start by learning to refill yourself before pouring again. This is not selfishness. This is the most responsible decision you can make. An empty person helping others is like a doctor performing surgery while hemorrhaging on the operating table. You cannot save someone else's life when you are losing your own. You must prioritize your own restoration, not occasionally, not as an afterthought, not as a reward after you have given everyone else everything they needed, but as a non-negotiable, sacred daily practice. Spend time alone with yourself, real time, not scrolling through your phone, not consuming content, not filling silence with noise, but actually sitting with yourself, reconnecting with yourself, listening to what your soul is trying to tell you underneath all the chaos and the noise and the demands of everyone else's world. Learn to hear your own voice again, because I guarantee you somewhere underneath the exhaustion, underneath the depletion, underneath the layers of everyone else's needs that you have wrapped yourself in, your purpose is still calling. Your dream is still alive. The version of you that was supposed to show up in this world is still waiting, and they are waiting for you to choose yourself with the same intensity that you have been choosing everyone else. Build boundaries, not walls. Boundaries. Walls keep everyone out, including the people who are good for you. Boundaries are discerning. Boundaries say, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I require in any relationship that gets access to my energy. And then boundaries enforce that standard with consistency, with love, and without apology. Because the moment you apologize for your boundaries, you communicate to the world that your standards are negotiable. And the wrong people will exploit that negotiability every single time. And when you have done the work, when you have refilled yourself, when you have established your boundaries, when you have begun the courageous process of releasing relationships that have been bleeding you dry, then you must open yourself to building something different, something real, something mutual, something that does not leave you empty at the end of every interaction, but instead sends you away feeling seen, valued, challenged, and expanded. Those relationships exist. People who pour back, people who celebrate your growth without feeling threatened by it. People who show up in your difficulty with the same consistency they show up in your celebration, they are out there. But you will never create space for them if you keep every available inch of your life occupied by people who were never meant to be there in the first place. Release them. Release them with love if you can, but release them. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. Holding them past their season does not make you loyal. It makes you late. Late to your purpose, late to your peace, late to the life that has been patiently waiting for you to stop giving it away to people who never deserved it. You are not tired. You are drained from pouring into the wrong people, and now you know. And knowing demands a response. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Everything we have talked about today comes down to one single transformative truth. You are valuable, not because of how much you can give, not because of how well you can serve, not because of how much you can endure without breaking. You are valuable because of who you are, because of what you carry, because of the specific, unique, irreplaceable gift that was placed inside of you before you ever took your first breath. And that value must be protected. You have spent too long believing that your worth is demonstrated through sacrifice. You have spent too long shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for you. You have spent too long watering other people's gardens while your own field turned dry and cracked and overgrown with the weeds of neglect. That season is over, not because life forced it to end, but because today you are making a conscious, courageous, life-altering decision to end it yourself. You are choosing from this moment forward to be intentional about where your energy goes. You are choosing to pour into people who pour back. You are choosing to invest in relationships that are mutual, that are honest, that are reciprocal, that are built on genuine love rather than obligation and fear. You are choosing to show up for yourself with the same extraordinary dedication that you have been showing up for everyone else. You are choosing to stop being drained. And in doing so, you are choosing to finally become everything you were always supposed to be. The world needs the full version of you, not the depleted version, not the exhausted version, not the hollow version that has given everything away and has nothing left to offer. The world needs the restored, refilled, boundary-protected, purpose-driven, fully alive version of you. And that version is available right now, the moment you decide to stop pouring into the wrong places and start investing in the right ones. Your best days are not behind you. They are waiting for you on the other side of the decision you make today. Thank you from the deepest place I know how to speak from. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having the courage to sit with a truth that many people spend their entire lives running from. That alone tells me something extraordinary about who you are. Now go. Go and pour wisely. Go and protect your energy fiercely. Go and build the kind of life and the kind of relationships that actually deserve everything beautiful that you carry. You have been through enough to know better. Now let knowing better translate into doing better every single day, one decision at a time. You are not just going to be okay. You are going to be remarkable. Not because life gets easier, but because you are finally going to stop making it harder by pouring yourself into the wrong places. The right people are waiting for you. Your purpose is waiting for you. The best version of your story is still being written. And today, you just picked up the pen. Good luck. And thank you for choosing yourself.